Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're peeling back the layers on something pretty concrete. Single property listing.
Yeah.
We're not just admiring it, though. We want to figure out what it really says about modern city living. We're looking at the Zillow listing for 122W Monument Ave in Dayton, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this isn't just any house. Think of it more like a case study. It's priced at $769,000, built relatively recently, 2018. And it's got 3 beds, 4 baths, just over 3,000 square feet. So our mission really is to unpack what makes this place stand out. What does it tell us about luxury, convenience, and maybe those really intentional design choices shaping city life now?
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating, I think, is how one listing like this can almost be a microcosm, reflecting these much broader trends. It's not just about the square footage, is it? It's about a whole lifestyle,
Right.
a specific look and feel, and some, frankly, incredibly clever practical features that are really catering to a certain vision of modern urban life. It's almost like the listing itself is trying to tell a story about who lives there.
That's a great way to put it. And you can tell right away this isn't your run-of-the-mill build. The listing actually promises a boutique hotel vibe. And it makes this comparison. Soho House meets modern luxury living. I mean, that phrase alone sets a pretty high bar, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, yeah.
To just a lot of thought went into the details and the whole experience.
Exactly. When you hear boutique hotel vibe, especially next to Soho House, well, Soho House is known for that specific mix, right?
Yeah.
Curated art, rich textures, sort of comfortable but still very exclusive atmosphere.
Okay.
So translating that to a home, it means spaces that feel both luxurious but also kind of intimately personal, not just functional.
So let's dive into that style and comfort they mention. The listing talks about rich textures, designer lighting, wainscoting, and coffered ceilings. These aren't just fancy words thrown in, are they?
Yeah.
How do these specific things actually create that boutique hotel feeling rather than just being, expensive features?
Right, good question. Well, let's maybe break down a couple of those. Wainscoting, for instance. Those decorative panels you see on the lower part of walls. Historically, yeah, they added insulation, protected the wall, but today, it's really about adding this layer of architectural detail, a kind of bespoke, crafted feel. And coffered ceilings, those recessed grids overhead, they add incredible depth, visual interest.
Okay, I see.
Both are kind of classic architectural touches, but here they're used to give this modern home a sense of maybe established luxury, a tailored, high-end feel. They're very deliberate choices. They move away from just big, empty, generic spaces. They create rooms that feel more defined, more visually interesting, and curated, just like you'd find in a really nice hotel.
That makes sense. It's about crafting an experience, not just filling space. But let me ask you this, practically speaking. For you, the person living there, how do you maintain that kind of look without it feeling like a museum or costing a fortune in upkeep? Is there a risk it feels less like your home over time?
That's a really excellent point to consider. I think the key with this boutique hotel approach, when done well, is it often relies on timeless, high-quality materials and a cohesive design language throughout. The goal isn't really about chasing fleeting trends, It's more about enduring style.
Right.
So yeah, the initial investment might be higher, but the focus on durability and classic elegance means it's less likely to feel dated quickly. For the homeowner, it's maybe more about appreciating that foundation and adding your personal touches rather than feeling like you have to constantly redecorate. You live within the design.
Okay, living within it. I like that. And then we get to the kitchen, often called the heart of the home, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one has sleek Bosch appliances, a walk-in pantry, always nice, and a charming morning room that opens right onto a private 11-by-9 deck. The listing says it's perfect for sipping your coffee or enjoying golden hour. Sounds lovely. But what's the significance of this setup in a city context?
Well, that integration is really, really critical for urban living, I think. The sleek Bosch appliances that points to wanting both the look and the performance, professional grade stuff.
Yeah, serious cooks appreciate that.
Exactly. It reflects that whole prosumer trend, professional quality for the home, driven by, everyone watching cooking shows and getting into home cooking. And the walk-in pantry, that's a practical luxury, especially where every square foot counts.
Definitely.
But connecting that morning room directly to a private deck, even if it's 11-by-9, is really smart. It extends the living space outwards. It blurs the line between inside and outside, giving you this dedicated spot to relax or have a couple of friends over. In a city where private outdoor space is often a huge premium, this is a highly valued feature. It's designed to maximize every inch for actual enjoyment.
So it's more than just a kitchen. It's like an integrated zone for cooking, eating, relaxing. How does a kitchen like this, focused on high-end gear and that direct deck access, compare to what you might find in a suburban house at the same price point? Are there different design philosophies at work?
Oh, absolutely. In a suburb, for $769,000, you might expect a much larger kitchen, maybe sprawling, probably with a bigger yard too.
Right, more land.
Exactly. Here in the city, the emphasis shifts from sheer size to efficiency and curated functionality. The Bosch appliances are chosen for performance, yes, but also for their sleek, often space-saving design. And the deck, while maybe not huge at 11 by 9, is private and directly accessible. That makes it feel like a seamless part of the inside, not just some separate backyard area. It's really about leveraging every square foot for maximum impact and experience. That's kind of a hallmark of good urban design.
Okay, right. Efficiency and experience. Now, here's where, for me anyway, it gets really interesting, especially if you like to entertain or just love a good city view. The listing calls the fourth-floor city room a true entertainer's dream. And listen to this setup. A full built-in gas grill, wet bar, beverage fridge, custom counter, and a cozy fireplace with custom surround. But the real kicker, I think, is the clear electric weather shades. That lets you use it year-round. That's a massive difference maker, isn't it?
It is an enormous differentiator. You're absolutely right. And it speaks volumes about maximizing city living. In a dense urban area, getting private outdoor space on that scale with all those features integrated, that's incredibly valuable.
It's hard to come by.
Very. And the ability to use it year-round, thanks to those weather shades, that transforms it. It's not just a nice weather amenity. It becomes a core living space. Just imagine, like, hosting people or even just chilling out on a crisp fall evening with the fireplace going, still getting those fireworks and sunset views.
I can picture it.
This space isn't just an add-on. It's really a statement. It shows how modern urban design is finding these innovative ways to get around the usual city limitations. Limited yards, unpredictable weather. It offers a lifestyle that maybe you couldn't get otherwise. It's almost like a third space right in your own home, purely for leisure and entertaining.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it, a third space. But let me push back slightly on the entertainer's dream part. What if you're not a huge entertainer? Maybe you only host occasionally. Does this super elaborate rooftop setup still hold its value? And are there maybe maintenance things people should think about with a sophisticated system like that? Gas grills, electric shades.
That's a very practical, fair question. Even if you don't entertain large groups often, I'd argue this space offers immense personal value. It's a private escape, a sanctuary with panoramic views, a place for quiet reading, morning coffee, just enjoying your city from, up high. It offers that flexibility.
Sure, okay.
As for maintenance, yes, absolutely. Any outdoor space, especially one with built-in appliances, a fireplace, electric shades, it's going to need regular upkeep.
Right.
That's just reality. But the fact that they included those clear electric weather shades suggests it was thought through. They're designed to protect those expensive features from the elements.
Ah, good point.
So that can actually simplify cleaning and potentially extend the life of the grill, the counters, compared to a totally exposed space. It's a trade-off for sure, but that year-round usability often makes the maintenance seem worth it for buyers looking for this kind of feature.
Absolutely. Okay, and getting between all these floors, forget the stairs. The property has a private elevator to all 4 floors. I mean, that's a significant upgrade for any multi-story home, especially in the city. It completely changes the accessibility and convenience, wouldn't you say?
Without a doubt. A private elevator, particularly in an urban context, it's huge. Combine that with the other practical luxuries mentioned, like the heated 2-car garage with generous storage and dual HVAC systems for total climate control. It all points to this deep focus on both high-end luxury and real practical comfort.
Yeah, the comfort factor seems key.
Totally. In a multi-story home, an elevator just removes that major pain point, hauling groceries, dealing with stairs as you get older. It makes the home incredibly accessible for everyone, all ages, different mobility levels. It speaks directly to that growing desire for aging-in-place luxury, even in the city. People might be downsizing from big suburban houses, but they still want long-term comfort and independence without giving up the city location.
That makes a lot of sense.
And the heated garage, the dual HVAC, these are further signs of a commitment to year-round comfort. They basically eliminate many of the typical compromises you sometimes make with city living. These aren't just fancy features, they're actual solutions to common urban challenges.
Okay, these features sound amazing, incredibly appealing. But thinking financially for a moment, what kind of cost implications or maybe hidden value do these luxury convenience things like an elevator, dual HVAC bring beyond just using them day to day? How might they impact resale value down the road?
That's a great question because they add substantial hidden value, especially in a market looking for quality. An elevator, for instance, essentially future-proofs the home. It makes it attractive to a much broader group of potential buyers, multi-generational families, people planning for the future, anyone with mobility concerns. That expands your resale pool.
Ah, broader appeal.
Okay, dual HVAC systems.
Mm.
They offer not just zone comfort, but also potential energy efficiency gains, which buyers are increasingly savvy about. And the heated garage is not just convenient for you, it protects vehicles, offers extra usable conditioned space, which is always a premium in urban settings.
Right. Storage is key.
Exactly. These aren't just flash-in-the-pan trends. They are investments in comfort, accessibility, and efficiency that tend to hold their value well, maybe even appreciate. They really make a property stand out in a competitive market.
Okay, so moving beyond the glamour and the wow factors,
Yeah.
there's some really practical things here any buyer would look at closely. The HOA fee is listed at $240 million, and the listing itself calls this excellent value.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the real kicker, the key financial piece for anyone considering this. It has a 15-year tax abatement through 2032, promising big savings on property taxes. That's a huge financial perk, right?
Yeah.
Especially at this price.
It's absolutely huge. And that tax abatement is way more than just a perk. It's actually a critical tool that cities use for urban revitalization. It's a very significant financial incentive, specifically designed to attract new residents, new investment into certain areas, often to, help rejuvenate urban cores.
So it's a strategy by the city.
Precisely. Dayton, like a lot of mid-sized, formerly industrial cities, is strategically using programs like this, trying to combat past urban flight, attract investment, bring people back downtown. Now, the listing shows an annual tax amount of $3,233. But that abatement, running through 2032, would drastically reduce, maybe even eliminate that tax burden for several more years. That represents substantial savings for the buyer, potentially thousands per year. It's also a signal, really, of the city's confidence in its own future. They're investing in attracting people now to build vibrant communities, support local businesses, and eventually broaden the tax base after the abatement period ends.
That's a really interesting insight into the city's thinking there. Now, the listing says the 240-month HOA fee is excellent value. But what kinds of things would that fee typically cover in a luxury urban place like this? And how does that compare maybe to similar properties in other cities that don't have that tax abatement helping out?
Yeah, generally, an HOA fee around that level for this type of property would cover essential exterior maintenance. So think roof upkeep, exterior walls, maybe some landscaping, snow removal, cleaning of any common areas.
Okay, the basics to keep it looking good.
Exactly. Given it's a multi-story structure, maybe with shared access points, the fee ensures the building's curb appeal and structural integrity are maintained over time. Now, comparing it, in another city without a tax abatement, a similar property might have HOA fees that also need to build up a larger reserve fund, partly to offset the eventual full property tax hit down the line.
Ah, so they might bake that in.
They might. Or the fees could simply be higher to cover the same services because there isn't that sort of indirect support or cost reduction coming from the city via the abatement. So the excellent value here likely stems from getting comprehensive coverage for the building itself, while the owner benefits hugely from the separate tax savings. It makes the overall cost of ownership much lower for a while.
Yeah, it certainly makes the economics of high-end city living seem a lot more manageable, at least for a good stretch.
Some other details here. It's listed for sale by owner, and it's been on Zillow for 28 days as of the listing date, which was August 5, 2025. The price per square foot comes out to $254. These all give you clues about its position in the market, right? They absolutely do. Important data points. The for sale by owner, or FSBO aspect. That could suggest the seller wants a direct approach, maybe looking to save on agent commissions. For a buyer, that might sometimes translate into a bit more flexibility during negotiations. Maybe.
Potentially.
Being on Zillow for 28 days, that's really neither unusually long nor short for a luxury property like this. These unique homes, they often take a little longer to find just the right buyer who appreciates the specific features.
Makes sense.
What's really fascinating, I think, is putting it all together, this unique mix of luxury features, the practical stuff like the elevator, and the significant financial incentives. How does all that position this property within the Dayton market? And maybe even connecting to the bigger picture, how does it compare regionally? The listing mentions Centerville, Kettering as nearby, at $254 per square foot for what's essentially a new build with these high-end finishes and the tax abatement. It presents a pretty compelling value proposition, especially when you compare it to denser, maybe more established luxury markets elsewhere.
Right.
The listing sums it up as city living at its finest, bold, beautiful, and built for the way you live today. It's definitely a very specific offering, aimed at a very specific kind of buyer, I'd say.
And while it really emphasizes city living at its finest, let's be real, $769,000 is a significant price point for Dayton, Ohio.
It is.
So how does this property stack up against maybe more established luxury markets? And what's the unique value proposition here, beyond the features we've listed, that justifies investing that amount in what's still arguably a developing urban core?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? For $769,000, well, if you were looking in Chicago or DC or somewhere like that, you'd likely get significantly less space.
Oh, yeah.
Fewer high-end amenities, almost certainly no private elevator or a year-round rooftop deck like this one. The unique value proposition in Dayton with this property lies in getting that entire package, the luxury, the space, the customized urban experience at a price point that, yes, it's significant for Dayton, but it offers exceptional value when you benchmark it against major metro luxury standards.
So bang for your buck, essentially.
Kind of, yeah. You're getting a big city luxury lifestyle, arguably without the big city price tag that usually comes with it. And you're getting it in an urban core that's actively revitalizing and growing. So the investment isn't just in the physical house, it's also partly in the potential and the ongoing growth of Dayton itself, further boosted by that tax abatement safety net.
Okay. So pulling this all together, what does this mean for you listening in? Maybe you're curious about urban luxury or modern design or just what's even possible in homes today. This deep dive into 122W Monument Ave, it's really more than just looking at a house online. It's a pretty compelling case study, isn't it? It shows intentional design, sophisticated amenities, and smart financial benefits all coming together to create this very specific, very high-end urban lifestyle. It demonstrates how every detail, from those rich textures inside to the smart tax structure, plays a part in defining what modern aspirational city living can look like.
Yeah, what stands out most to me is just how thoughtfully everything seems integrated, how it crafts a complete experience. You start with that Soho House vibe from the design details.
Right.
You move to the super practical yet totally lavish year-round rooftop space. And then you layer on the clear financial advantage of the tax abatement. It all just works together. It paints this vivid picture of a home that's designed not just for shelter, but for really experiencing city life to its absolute fullest, with comfort, convenience, and luxury kind of built in, anticipating what the owner might want or need.
It really does seem like a place built for a specific person. Someone who wants the convenience, the luxury, and the entertainment, all wrapped up in one stylish, accessible, and frankly, financially savvy package. It's quite a statement about what's achievable in urban development now and how cities like Dayton are carving out these unique opportunities.
And I think this raises a really important final question for you, the listener, to maybe ponder as you think about how our cities are changing. How will properties exactly like this one, focusing on high design, integrated amenities, financial incentives, how will they influence our own expectations for personal space, for community connection, and for the very definition of what a dream home even means when it's right in the heart of a city, especially as more urban cores embrace this kind of revitalization and smart design?